Let's get to the growing issue of the governor's wife and her influence in Oregon. Today, Governor Tina Kotek backtracked on earlier statements and said there will not be an office of the first spouse.
After listening to and reflecting on the concerns that Oregonians have raised when they've contacted my office, as well as the advice of my staff, I want to be clear about the following. There will not be an office of the first spouse. There will not be a chief of staff to the first spouse. And other than staff that is assigned to support the First Lady in her official duties, no state staff will report to her or be supervised by her. My office is also assembling a first spouse manual to spell out the policies and procedures related to the role, including protocols for addressing any staff concerns or complaints.
Now, if you've missed it, the First Lady has played a much bigger role in Tina Kotek's administration than earlier acknowledged. Several of you have emailed us saying, hey, look, I didn't vote for the First Lady, and I don't understand why she now has a role in the governor's office. This all came to light when top aides began bailing out, leaving the office. 5 have left so far. Today, the governor met with reporters, probably hoping her explanations would help the story die. Kind of appears to have done just the opposite, though. We're going to play you a few questions from Nigel Jaquist. He's one of the top investigative reporters in Oregon. He's with Willamette Week. I want you to get a feel for the tense back and forth between him and the governor.
I'm sorry, I'm confused as to how things will be substantively different with the First Lady from today forward, because you haven't said that she will not be having calls with staff. You haven't said that she will not be meeting with agency personnel. You haven't said that she won't be meeting with policymakers and decision makers. So can you be more clear about what she won't be doing, please?
But between now and we get more guidance from the Government Ethics Commission, I just want to be clear what she will be doing, because that's, I think, what Oregonians are asking. Is she going to go on tribe visits? Yes. Is she going to maybe do an occasional event for you? Yes. Is she going to listen if people, want to talk with her, particularly in a group setting, line workers, people who are out there, people with lived experience? She's going to listen, because I think that's what you do in this role, is you listen to Oregonians. So I can't answer that question because we don't know until we get the Ethics Commission guidance.
Will she be involved in personnel decisions?
She is not involved in personnel decisions.
Well, she clearly interviewed Juliana Wallace before she was hired and had a weekly call with her afterwards. So is that different?
That is not a... I make all personnel decisions in my office.
All right, so basically the governor refuses to rule out anything for the First Lady. She said she is a social worker with lived experience and valuable insights. On topics like this, governors will often ask their top lawyer to research the issue and then write a legal opinion about it. Well, Nigel asked the governor to release that opinion.
Governor, it's my understanding that your general counsel, Richard Lane, has prepared one or more memos on the subject of the First Lady's duties or how the structure might work. In the spirit of the transparency that you've talked about today, will you release Richard Lane's memo or writings on this topic?
I will not. The policy of my office is not to release legal opinions, no matter what they're about.
Governor, it's your privilege. You represent the people of Oregon. Why won't you waive it? If you're really going to be transparent about this issue, why not tell us what Richard thinks?
I appreciate the question. The policy of my office is not to release legal opinions, no matter what the topic is.
That would suggest that Richard's opinion is not the opinion that you want us to have. That somehow...
No, the answer is, no matter what the legal opinion is, on what matter, whatever it is in my office, I do not release those opinions.
All right, and finally, he asked about all those top staffers leaving the office. Remember, these are people who love working in politics. They love public policy and communications and building teams and making things happen. And when things run well, the governor's office is the best job in Oregon for those folks.
Governor, the departure of 5 high-level staff people could give the impression that you have put the interests of the First Lady in front of the interests of your staff who represent the interests of the public. So have you put the First Lady's interests ahead of the interests of Oregonians?
I have not.
How can you say that? When 5 people have left your office, they haven't been replaced, they were loyalists, they were people who were working on the most important parts of your agenda, they're all gone.
So here's what I will say. We had staff turnover about a month ago. I had a good team before. I have a good team now. I have a new chief of staff. We had a good conversation with our staff about making any changes to our structure in the second year. I have new deputy chiefs of staff. We are hiring up. Transitions happen. I think, if I could be very honest, to equate all of those, people make choices to move on. We have a full team. We will continue to stay staffed up and do the work of Oregonians, and I'm laser focused on that.
So the email's been very clear that the reason that those people left was because they disagreed with the role of the First Lady. So if they left, that means they lost and the First Lady won. So you have clearly put her interests first.
As your governor, when I say I have not put the interests of Oregonians or put the First Lady over the interests of Oregonians, all I can say is I have not. We have been laser focused on the work that is ahead of us, and we are doing the job.
I found that whole exchange fascinating. So those are the folks. One final thing from me, my opinion. I've been a reporter covering Oregon politics for nearly 34 years now. When you have that many top people leaving the governor's office in a short period of time, it should send off fire alarms everywhere. They can't say it out loud, but they are saying it with their feet. The governor is not willing to budge. You could see in that news conference, she is tough and perhaps a little stubborn. Now, hey, those are great qualities in a leader until you add in a blind spot, perhaps a blind spot about their spouse. This story is far from over. That's my opinion. It appears the next steps will be whatever the State Ethics Commission has to say about this. In the meantime, I'd love to hear what you say about this. What do you think is going on in there? What's going through your mind when you hear these back and forths? Send us an email, will you? The address is thestory@kgw.com, or call and leave a voicemail. Our number is 503-226-5090. I look forward to hearing from you.